Hi everyone, it's Luca here. In the past few months, I've been working on a game called GeoBAT. It's a cool 2D action platformer where you shoot a big variety of enemies, deal with tricky platforming sections, and fight cool and intense boss fights. It's inspired by games like Mega Man, Super Mario, and Metroid. But if you watched my previous devlog, you might recognize that this is not the game I was working on half a year ago. And you are right. So what happened? Well, when I first started working on The Frost, my previous project, I had an idea of completing it in around 6 to 8 months and then putting it on Steam. But after 6 months of developing, we didn't really have much besides a short, sloppy demo. And that was when I realized that the scope of The Frost was way too big. There were two major problems. Firstly, The Frost was said to be a Metroidvania with a huge world to explore, a ton of NPCs and story. But when I was planning all those things, I didn't know that those stuff take a really long time to make. Secondly, our team was struggling a lot with art. We just couldn't find a good artist that would be willing to work with us. But then one day I found a guy called Leo, his nickname being Shock Pixels, and he said that he could work on the game, but he suggested some big changes to make the scope more realistic. But the more we talked about it, the more obvious it got to me that the project just isn't going to work out. I still tried. I made a total redesign of the character, cut the story and planned content in half, but it still didn't seem to work. And so, one day when I was talking to Leo, he showed me some assets he made for a game he was planning for a long time. And then I made a very big decision. I decided to put The Frost on pause and offer Leo to be a programmer for that game of his. And oh man, what a good decision that was. It turned out that Leo actually planned the game for a very long time and had a lot of art already made. And in the first few weeks, we already made nearly as much as we did in the whole 6 months of working on The Frost. Not only that, but his project also had much smaller and more realistic scope. Being a platformer, not a Metroidvania, also meant that there were a lot less systems that needed to be done. So that is how I started the development of GeoBAT. Since then, we maintained steady, constant progress, and we already have most of the necessary systems done. The character is fully complete, and now basically the only thing left for us is to just make as much content for the game as possible, and that's it. Leo is doing an amazing job with the art, and then he passes it to me to implement it into the game. And for now, that's working out great. With GeoBAT, we also don't plan on bringing anything new or extremely exotic to the scene, but rather to make a fun and memorable experience for the players. In the last few days, Leo started on a small marketing campaign to gain followers for the game. He's been posting short videos on Instagram, X, and Blue Sky. You should definitely check his profile out if you're interested in more footage and updates about the game. Okay, so here we are now. We are doing a great work with the game and we are really proud of what we made so far. Currently we are focusing on creating the first out of 4 full levels, and after that we'll probably make a small round of playtests to make sure that the controls feel good and that enemies, levels and bosses are balanced. So if you want to get a chance to participate in one, consider joining our Discord server. I will put a link in the description. So that ramps up the first devlog of GeoBAT. We are hard at work, so expect more updates about the game soon. Bye!